want of knowledge and stuff.
That's enough. I understand. She knows you succeed on the charisma save, so she knows you're capable of lying. Well, I'll leave it at that then.
Is there something in particular you want to know?
Now, why in the world would I say that to you?
Okay.
Especially when there's a number of you that can lie to my face right now. You see the grip on the axe tighten. You wonder how capable he is of throwing it. A big axe like that. That must be impossible, right? It wouldn't be fitting at all. 40 feet? Impossible. Thanks to
I have
Chris.
no desire to find out. Okay.
So, you won't stay?
We cannot.
And you speak the truth?
Yes.
Is there anything I can give you that might entice you to stay?
There is not.
Nothing at all?
No.
Answers? Bringing someone back from the dead?
No. Even though Fancy is a dear friend and he is dead, I believe that he got what he always wanted. A school where he can train coming generations of duelists like himself, like myself. I think it's what he would have wanted.
I see. What say the rest of you?
Why do you want us to stay?
Why wouldn't I? It's just me and him. She looks at the horseman. He releases his grip on the axe and just tucks it behind his back.
So...
why wouldn't I?
what's stopping you from leaving?
She looks at the glass chamber behind her. This town.
What if something could be done about that?
What would you have in mind?
Well, we have the means to remove that, if you would allow it.
The room dims. No. You guys hear as the axe is being drawn.
Okay.
But why not? The room brightens once more to its original illuminity.
I mean, I would imagine being stuck here...
Experience your characters have children, huh?
I don't know. I feel like Rose probably not a ton. Because military shit? Anyways.
It's up to you guys. I don't have answers for your characters.
Not like she hates and avoids kids, just like she doesn't have particular experience with them.
I'm asking specifically for experience. And no, seeing a kid down the street doesn't count as experience.
Korik would have experience with, street urchins, having grown up among them, that sort of deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being around other children.
Okay.
Without adults.
Yeah, Fia probably would have when she was traveling with her family. It being like an entertainment thing and stuff, they probably would have like entertained kids and everything.
Okay. I don't know what Ruhan's observations on the Negros is like. I'm not sure if he saw children Or
They're probably throwing smaller
Very,
rocks.
very, very infrequent. As you know, you tend to keep the kids away from the.
yeah, but sometimes the kids wander out away from their parents. I don't know. Again, leave it up to you. It's
I
infrequent.
think very, very briefly in Groffle, he would have had some interaction with kids.
Okay.
And probably relate to them a lot as people who are also learning everything around.
That's
I
wholesome.
like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if that's the case, then Fia, you can roll insight. And to Korok and Ruan, you can roll insight with advantage. An insight into a child's psyche.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Hey, that's a good one. Wow, you both rolled exactly the same twice.
Wow, what are the chances of that? That's actually
Fucking
wow.
wild.
I mean, Fia, it makes more sense for the other two, which is why they have advantage, but maybe at some point you saw a kid who was very, very afraid. And, to be perfectly honest with you, the fact that they were this afraid is a harrowing thing, a harrowing tale in and of itself. She's a kid afraid to die,
Yeah.
which is why she doesn't want you guys touching that chamber.
Right. Suppose there'd be no way to tell everyone else without alerting the kid as well.
I should have the message spell.
Shame.
Yeah. Bad times.
I mean, could you
Just had to keep
tag
vicious
along?
mockery.
Oops, sorry.
No, I'm just moaning.
Eh,
Wait, Sin?
is there... I don't know much about the magic part of this. Could you tag along with us? Like, attached to
No.
us? I don't know. No, I think you'd have to be by yourself. Oh.
All ascendants are bound to their towers. For better and worse. So you were the cause of the orchestrator, his disappearance.
Yes.
She nods. I'll miss his music.
What happens
Yeah.
to the... Is it just gonna be empty until someone else pops up?
You don't know.
Nope.
It's dark forever.
Oh.
Never to be inhabited ever again. Not until somehow a new grave light is installed. But I've never heard of that. And you would try to do the same for me. Me and my only friend.
Well, if there's any alternative you could think of. But
Other than casting you out right now, no. Yar, we can't let that happen.
no. Well then.
Does
Loneliness
she seem
can
to-
be a poison on the soul. No one should have to bear that. That being said,
Abio's thinking. Varric is eyeing the arms or axe drawn horseman and ready to have his own shot at the situation. Literally.
whole thing? The whole damn thing can't be moved. This is mildly Rose just thinking out loud, just like trying to find some solution here.
Yeah.
I think Ruan just goes up, like, on, like, the stairs before where she is and just kind of sits down.
You're blocked immediately by the two guards crossing their pikes. If you want to push past him, you can, but that's up to you. You guys were prevented from entering too close, 40 feet perimeter, for a reason.
You know what? I look her dead in the eyes, and I say, I don't think even if I came right next to you, you would stop me. There'd be no point in killing me. You know I'm not here to mean you any harm.
You did fail the charisma check. She holds up a hand. Two guards. The pumpkin-headed horseman says something in his undeathly tongue. Fia, you can translate mentally. Not that you can say it out loud without her knowing, but you translate of him being concernedly saying, "Princess."
Oh, just princess. Okay.
That's it. Yeah. You may have
Yeah. Okay.
And I just sort of unceremoniously walk up and just plop down. And just sort of look the other way, not at her, but sort of at where we just came in from.
Yeah.
I've often wondered what lies beyond this life. Certainly many people have many philosophies, and they're probably right. I mean, people have came back from beyond. What do you think happened?
She looks in the direction you're looking. Again, sort of basically towards the party at that point. She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, thinks on it. I think that there are a lot of people that I'll never get to meet. And that they are right. In some way, shape, or form, the way they live is right.
You think so?
That's
Certain?
what my parents would have said.
How long have you been without them?
I don't know. A century? You lose track of
Long
time. Eventually.
I'm sorry to hear that. I never knew my parents.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I always wondered if they'd be proud of me for who I am and who I'm trying to become.
I've thought the same thing. I never met mine.
You guys are missing out.
I think Rose just wipes like a tear out of her eye because you can see it.
Why do you bring it up? If not to torment my memories.
I'm sorry if it does such, but life is a very tenuous thing, for you less so. But for us, we have a short amount of time in which we can do things that matter, that truly matter, before we move on and find rest, find peace. He then shifts his gaze to her. Do you feel at peace here?
He means crying. And shakes her head. I feel detached. Alone. She looks at the horseman. As much as I made a friend. The plated form sort of slumps.
You do have a chance. There is something after this for you. I know it's hard to see now, and we all want to hold on to what we have for fear of losing it. But there's something after this for you. There's someone after this for you. And I'm sure they would really love to see you.
She thinks on the matter. You would ask me to pass to the other side. On my terms.
Yes. Yes, I am.
If I were feeling a bit more mechanical right now, I'd tell you to roll persuasion, but I'll let the RP take it. She looks at her knife. She looks at you guys. How did it progress?
Korik's face right now is just an open book of empathy.
Very well. She sets down the ruling staff, like leans it against the side of the throne. She hops off her throne, so large it is and so small she is. She goes over to the horseman and they begin talking. He kneels so that he's at roughly face height of her. We've been talking in this undeathly tongue, and no fear, you can't hear it. They finish after a moment, 2 minutes or so. She looks at you guys. Royal adventurers, the first and only ones to step into my realm. Is there anything you would ask of me?
Two things.
Your gracious princess. She's just
Yeah.
crying openly at this point.
There are two things I would request, Your Highness. The first is a group hug, all of us. And the second, if you would...
I'm not doing that.
To be such a Grinch.
I look to Abigail to see if she's gonna drag him into it.
She does like a knowing nod.
And the second is if you could undo the... you said it was a curse, fear, on you?
Yes, if it's not too much trouble. I'll sort of show her the wand. I got this from
The
the
orchestra.
conductor. The orchestra, yes. I believed it would help, but instead it's harming me a great deal.
She begins taking little step by little step towards you. She thinks on the matter. And she's a bit redoubled by it. Huh. It's a small, quaint smile behind the tears. A flicker of hope. Maybe Gravelights can turn themselves back on.
Perhaps.
This would have made you into him. Them. The orchestra.
Oh. Well, perhaps then, if that is true, there may be a chance for this place as well.
Perhaps. But we won't know until it happens. She does like a little bink with her finger. You guys all see Fia just have a ripple of this pale green energy cascade out from where the little girl pokes you, boops you, and then it no longer has any power over you. That being said, you do lose the ability to understand this deathly tongue.
That is perfectly fine with me.
You say that now.
What, sorry?
You say that now.
Well, yeah. Yeah, okay. I'll just sort of look visibly relieved that it's gone. Thank you so much for this. Thank you. I don't really know what else to say.
She just does like a nod. If I might ask, how did your friend meet my friend? I suppose you had to ask him. And she looks at the pumpkin-headed horseman. Exhales this like puff of green smoke. The fire in his jack-o'-lantern head. Dragon hunting. Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait, were you going solo?
Abio picks
or...
up on this. Alone is the best glory.
I mean,
Abio picks up on this though.
Yeah. Good.
How did you get out here? How long ago did you face off? Decades. Decades?
That was
Wait,
well
how
before.
long was the dragon missing for again?
Not decades.
Lorelei thinks on the matter. Maybe he met her back when she was still our servant? I don't know. She never made any mention of it. Well, would she make mention of someone hunting her head? She like shrivels at that. No. My bigger question is why someone was here in the first place. The colony's
exactly,
only
for the
get
first
old.
wave.
Haven't there been Isn't this literally a graveyard of people attempting to cross over, though? Could have been from.
But to make it all the way to Afotorans, we're quite a ways away right now ourselves.
Were
If you
you
remember,
in
us getting
Afotoran?
chased by all the crabs.
I do. Maybe it was a similar situation. The ship, I don't know, encountered a storm or something, got derailed off its... not derailed, but you know.
I look to the pumpkin man. It's like,
Why do
there's
you wonder
intent.
so much? There are towns already on the continent,
there were?
the princess says. Of course. Like that of my parents, where they were going to, and likely with Mr. Morley. Varric squeezes his longbow even tighter and begins slowly reaching for an arrow.
Wait.
Abigail gets a knowing look at Varric, not a happy one, and she messages all of you. Trader towns.
Oh,
Seems Mr. Morley has more secrets than he was laying on. Fia.
fuck.
Who's Mr. Morley?
My boss.
Hilbrand.
Hilbrant. And you said he was planning to go with your parents, or
No, I just know
okay.
they were acquainted and through similar allegiances. That's why I asked you yours. But you are... She like gets an unamused look. Capable of lying to my face right now.
it was more for other stuff, but I'm not. We never really talked, like I said, we never really talked politics. It was more work related with us. A shared interest.
She holds up a hand. I don't care.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I think we need to have a word afterwards.
Oh no. Okay.
In due time, Abigail says through gritted, smiling teeth. In due time.
Well, ignoring that part.
Lorelai's thinking about the Justina and the dragon hunter. Well,
Yeah.
not a dragon hunter anymore, is he? But yeah. Well, is there anything else, royal adventurers? I'm ready to get the fuck out of here.
Just shake my head.
Before that, do you know of what lies ahead? The next. Do you know anything about the other
Other
Lord
group of
Vittorius.
areas of
districts.
it? Yes.
Lord Artorius lies ahead, him and his hunting beast. You say you have something to give to him, though?
I do.
I recommend presenting it. Lord
should take
Artorius is like I. He is... His faculties are well held. And similar to I, it is but him and his hunting beast alone in the district.
I will heed your counsel.
It is a large beast, but despite its size, it is quite fast.
Do you know what type of beast it may be?
Some sort of reptilian one.
And is it above water or below this district? Like, similar to this one.
She gets a weak smile. That of reality. So underwater.
Why are both of your districts empty, but the first one was completely full of people?
You can thank Vendian for that.
Speaking of Venian, he did recognize this fella. She points at Benny.
Arr! Well, I'm afraid I don't.
Dang
He
it.
seems very loud, though. It'd be one of me winning charms. Arr.
Indeed.
It does have
Debatable.
such change values. Yeah, he did not seem to like Benny, but that's relevant.
Well, I don't care for Vendian either. Neither does Lord Retorius. It is through Vendian's trickery that we are here, alone. Well, at least he has a consistent track record of being treacherous. So that means us as his... I say us, I mean more you all, as his vanquishers, have now a built-in trust and reputation of truth. Make it sound like this is some sort of game.
Have you not picked up the theme of this entire area?
Fair enough. That being said, I haven't exactly deduced any of you guys are suspicious yet.
Not outwardly so.
Yeah, not really helping my case much these days.
No, not very sus at all.
Hmm.
Everyone's acting sus.
I was fucking trying to avoid saying that kind of shit.
Is there anything else? Or shall we...
Majesty.
Yes?
He gets up and sort of actually goes down to a knee with a bow this time.
The brooch does not seem offended, given light of new circumstance.
It has been said that who we are when we pass is the legacy we have left behind. And that's all we are when we leave. And I want you to know that everyone whom we meet will know of the noble and gracious princess that went peacefully into the afterlife.
She gets like a small smile. Thank you.
Here, here.
Here, here.
I'm not fucking hugging any of you guys.
That's your loss, Larry.
Come on.
Giving you information, I'm definitely not doing it now.
Will you not be
He
an
said,
emotionless
"Forget
tin
Abigail."
can for once?
Not when one of you might be a traitor.
Are there any cups in here?
There are. Which is weird, considering how you don't think the dull people eat or drink.
Right. I grab one and actually raise it towards her. For the princess.
The hall follows in synchronous motion, just... and it echoes, bouncing across the room, the voices of a couple hundred. Hear, hear! Differing voices, higher pitches, lower pitches, etc., which I can't physically replicate. Give me a couple years, man. Maybe I'll get there.
Can I sort of copy that motion as well with like a fake cup or something? Here.
I suppose it's time. She says, look at the big glowing glass chamber. How shall we do this?
Rose, Benny,
Yeah. Your time
Just
to shine.
lift me up to the thing glass. The powers that be will take care of the rest.
I'll just walk over to her and grab her hand and sit with her.
There's like a second of hesitation before Rose does the thing, and then she goes and does the thing. Just like
As Rose is taking steps towards the massive glass chamber, she does say to you, Ron, I'm brave, right?
Braver than any of us.
Good, because I'm really scared.
Oh, I know. But don't worry. Soon. Soon you'll be in the loving arms of those who care for you most.
She closes her eyes as Rose begins lifting Benny up to the chamber. His eyes begin glowing even brighter and brighter. His mouth just clucks open, and energy begins getting siphoned from the chamber, and reality itself begins crumbling around you. In a moment of brilliance, Varric thinks on the matter. Put your mask on now. As he slips on his rebreather.
same.
Yeah, that's going on.
You guys all begin putting it on. Having one of your hands preoccupied, noticing one of your hands is preoccupied, Ruhan, Abigail grabs your mask from your pack and oh, safe and sound. Reality crumbles around you. The bright holes breaking away, panel by panel, piece by piece, as if we're pulling away the veil of deception and false reality, revealing once more the gloom in the sky, the grave light towers in the distance, the water rushing down. The hall disappears, then the false crowd, then the horse of the horseman, then the horseman himself, as he begins cackling maniacally from his jack-o'-lantern head. Then all that's left is but a child, and then she begins flickering, just like the grave light energy that Benny is siphoning. The grave light goes out. And she is gone. Ruhan, you feel her presence. Her little tiny hand. The pressure goes away. Nothing grasping you, nor for you to grasp. The district is utterly mundane. Again, similar to the district you guys had passed through prior, the orchestra's district. Looking like a sunken town more than anything, like that which you first came in, except it's all dark. All that you guys have, like the Northern Star in the night, is the grave light ahead of you, and the ones way out in the distance. Fia, that sensation you had before changes to a congratulatory one. A job well done.
Okay.
And thankful. You guys are plunged back into the water. Once more, feeling its fluid and wet embrace. You guys have to swim. Varric puts away the bone, unshoulders the gun. You guys see, similar to when you guys first entered this district, just a short ways away, I'd say 40 feet or so, an archway with an ajar iron gate. Past it is more of derelict town, more akin to when you guys first arrived here, not these Tortuga and New Orleans-esque streets, moreover paths carved through wreckage. The path ahead. The path to Lord Retorius's district, him and his hunting beast. But before we get to that, we're going to take a 5-minute break.